Cue license-free intro music. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to the Football Frauds podcast. I'm Miles.
I'm Connor.
And I'm alive.
And we are three young, strapping lads who live in a Midwest state where it's currently 0 degrees. When I go to work tomorrow morning, the wind chill will be negative 33 degrees.
No, that's good. That's football weather.
I'll be on a rooftop for about a half hour. That's going to be awesome.
You actually have to do that tomorrow?
I do.
Oh, my God.
I pushed all my field work back like 2 weeks. I was like, I'm not going outside. Sorry.
And the vibe is just like, oh, we're gruff men. We got to deal with it.
I mean, our job is to service furnaces, so if people need heat, they need heat.
I guess that's true.
And the shitty thing is like if you I work with stuff like little wires and little pieces like that, so you really can't have gloves on.
Oh.
And there's no heat up there, so you have nowhere to heat your hands. You're just up there like taking your fingers off, just like trying to work as quickly as possible and get shit done. And like
I don't even know how that's possible.
It's just
I have no circulation.
It's on metal too.
Yeah,
which is just the coldest stuff ever.
And the winds up there on the roof is terrible. Anyways.
That reminds me of the cold nature of the NFL head coaching cycle. Yeah. The cruel, cold nature of the owners. It's a cold business.
Let me give you a scenario. You're the head coach of a football team for the past 9 seasons.
I won the Super Bowl every year.
You've gone to the playoffs every year since before you even had a star quarterback. You've done nothing but put together pretty good defenses in the playoffs with not a lot of talent. You've lost to big-time quarterbacks in each year. You get to your 9th season, everything opens up for you. Lamar Jackson's gone. Patrick Mahomes out. Herbert out. Drake May arrives in the scene. All you have to do is beat Bo Nix in Denver to advance to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
The Broncos fumble 3 times. Recover it. Was it 5 times? Something like that? Broncos cover 3 times. Recover every single one. Josh Allen makes 3 key interceptions. There's a key call flipped over in the Brandon Cooks interception.
Yeah, fumbles it terribly too.
You get into the locker room after the game, and your owner notices this. He said, "My decision to bring in a new coach was based on the results of our game in Denver today. I feel like we hit a proverbial playoff wall year after year. 13 seconds, missed field goal, the catch. So I just sensed in that locker room, like, where do we go from here with that we have?" And that was the basis for my decision. It had nothing to do with disconnect or discord, anything like that. I just felt that this team needed a different voice after what we witnessed and was a part of the locker room after the Denver game. After 9 years, your owner makes a decision based on one game in the playoffs with 3 key turnovers that could have gone either way and a call that flipped the game entirely. One game. Imagine working for a company as a CEO for 9 years, beating your market expectations year after year and developing a great business. You miss your earnings call bad on one report.
Yeah.
The owner walks in the room and says, "I don't like the vibes here. You're out, bitch."
Yeah, like if you did, like your company grew the whole time, but you never invested in AI, so now you're behind.
Yeah.
No rings.
Just not even that. You just screwed up for like a few weeks.
But I'm saying like AI is the company Super Bowl right now. Like if you didn't do that, you didn't get a ring. No AI.
The Bills have AI. They have Josh Allen.
Oh,
Josh Allen is AI. And my point is, if you're Sean McDermott, you're sitting there going, dude, like we're going to base everything. Literally, he says in this quote, Terry Pegula, the owner of the Bills, I made my decision after this game in the locker room.
If they won 2 more games and made it to the Super Bowl, no one's getting fired.
What kind of good processed business executive is making a decision based on one earnings report?
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that it was multiple.
What I would say in all those situations is that, I mean, you can say luck is relative or maybe it builds up over time and it starts to tell the truth, but like a lot of these things that have happened in the playoffs year after year are just variance.
I think it was just variance. But I also think that like the Bills are getting closer to another rebuild-ish, or like they're just feels like the roster isn't quite as there as it was 4 years ago. And how long can you just have the same guy like using the same tactics on the same players? Like, are they going to feel like it just feels dull, like it loses its luster? I'm not saying it does. I just don't think it's crazy. Like, if they win 2 more games, then the players might feel like, come on, we were in the Super Bowl. We almost had it 1 more year. But when you lose earlier than you typically do, not to, like, they've only lost to superhero quarterbacks. This is their first time they've lost to not one. I could see where you just want to reset.
Pagula said that he did not consult Josh Allen on the decision.
I think that makes sense.
I don't think it's Josh Allen's decision. I don't think he should have any say in it.
But wouldn't you say that if by far your most valuable employee, who is bringing in almost the entirety of your franchise revenue and making you a valuable business, should have input on the top of leadership?
Yeah, but if he's a loyal guy, you might not know what's the best for you or for the organization.
I think the real discussion is here, like, if Sean McDermott didn't do enough for the Bills, then what did Brandon Beane do to, like, even if he's a fine GM, why would you not want to just wipe the slate clean, get them out together, and then, like, you can build something new that maybe has some area to, like, sputter out and then get it going, versus if the Bills do bad next year, what are you going to do then? Then you're going to fire Beane and you're going to have more discord, and, like, it just made no sense to be not on the same page there. No alignment.
I just didn't like the process of it. I don't like making your decision in the locker room. Obviously, like walking into the locker room after the game, obviously the vibes are going to be terrible. Just admitting that I made my decision based on the vibes in that moment, that is a bad process to me.
I just think at some point you got to be 50-50. I could leave them, and then it could be that one last data point that flips you either way, because you could be close. And I think it's defensible, even if I don't know if that guy is a good owner or not. He's probably not. He seems like he's an idiot based on that press conference.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah, I think it's very misleading to say that came down to one game. It doesn't come down to one. You can't be all in on a guy and then have one game flip you. He could be on the fence.
Yeah.
He could have gone into the game saying, "It's if we don't do something this year, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, if we don't make it to the championship game, it's over. We're finding a new person to lead the team."
Pagula said he made the decision to fire McDermott on his own, and it hadn't crossed his mind to do so until he was in the locker room after the game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm buying that at all.
If that is true, it's pretty crazy.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyways, so they miss out on Kevin Stefanski. He goes to the Atlanta Falcons.
That's crazy.
They miss out on John Harbaugh, who signed with the New York Giants before that game. And it seems like Mike Tomlin's taking a year off. All of a sudden, they're sitting there. Mike McDaniel goes to the Chargers, OC.
Yeah.
Not a ton of premium options for the best head coaching job that's come available in a while.
I know. It feels like there's a situation where they could get screwed this year, where it's like they don't upgrade, they just settle, and then there's no market improvement. And then what do they do next year when they maybe have a worse record?
And then you hire Brian Daboll, and your offense goes from 5th in EPA to 3rd.
Give me a joke.
In a good situation, and what are you gaining?
All Daboll's ever done was, like, spread offense, putting the quarterback at risk. Like, their offense was good with Joe Brady. I don't think you should hire Joe Brady either. It's just there aren't really too many good options without, like, hiring a young guy with high upside. Or, I mean, I'd like to see Flores go there still, but how different is that than McDermott?
Connor, what names come to mind in terms of the Bills opening? Do you feel like they need to kind of imitate the McDermott thing, bring in new leadership, fresh start with a defensive guy, try and upgrade the offense?
I've always been OC pilled. I think that's kind of where you got to go with it. And right now, I think your best option is Kubiak. That right after whenever Seahawks season's over, he should be the first guy you have in.
That's very possible.
Other than that, Flores seems like a good option too, but I mean, no one really knows what's going on with his situation. So
Flores did just extend with the Vikings
on
the condition that he doesn't get a head coach job.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons hiring Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, this reminds me of our debate we had in one of our prior episodes. Connor and I disagreed on the validity of that head coach opening. I thought it was kind of crap. I thought I'd heard some bad things about Arthur Blank, and overall thought the lack of a quarterback there was just off-putting. But it seems like Matt Ryan coming in and the ability to keep Jeff Ulbrich on the team when he had ran a decent defense, that was enough to hire a candidate like Kevin Stefanski, who ran a lot of good offenses in Cleveland with not very decent assets. So I think if you're a Falcons fan, you got to be pumped. It feels like you're in a good spot. You can keep building things with Ulbrich. He's shown some good work so far, and I think Stefanski could probably work pretty well with either Cousins or Penix in the 1 year window, and then maybe you can see what happens after 1 year. But
Yeah, everything I've been hearing has been that they're going to try and run with Penix, depending on the draft and if
yeah,
someone falls to him.
it does kind of make sense, because of how much like a draft comp and just like it's so hard to reset now and not give him 1 more year, even if it probably won't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you are Atlanta, I mean, tanking for 1 year, everyone's pretty much still on good contracts.
Yeah.
And then next year, you are. I mean, these college players can't keep playing in college. They're gonna have to go to the draft at some point.
Yeah, true.
So, it's like next year. It said this year was gonna be a really good QB year. Everyone decided to stay, or they fell off the train.
Yeah.
Next year, there's no option. They have to go to the NFL.
And it's not like the free agency market is very interesting for the Falcons this year either way.
Yeah.
So I agree. Do Cousins and Penix probably make it work.
The New York Giants hired John Harbaugh. Harbaugh accepts the offer without signing a contract and uses that as leverage to talk to ownership and say, hey, you guys agreed to bring me in. If I'm going to sign this contract, I better have command over Joe Shane. I'm not having Joe Shane tell me what to do. I have the final call. Uses that leverage to say, I'm going straight to ownership. Joe Shane's in my way. Now Harbaugh reports straight to ownership with Shane instead of to Shane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's such a veteran, and maybe like people like to put Shane down. People like to build him up. I think at the end of the day, he's probably average. He's probably not terrible. But like, why would Harbaugh be underneath him with all of his, like, the Ravens is by all accounts a top-notch organization. I've seen that they fired their leader of their training staff, like for therapy and stuff like that. So I think like overall he just wants to have way more of a fingerprint on what the organization is going to look like. I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, you're freaking John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Like, Joe Shane's come and go every 3 years. Like, you've had the staying power in this league. Don't let anyone else like interrupt you. This is probably your last chance at being a head coach. Like, this is your sunset. This is what you're going to do if you want to keep your legacy going.
He's 63.
Yeah, don't let anyone else mess it up.
I agree. My hesitation with that is, what is Harbaugh's experience with player evaluation and personnel evaluation?
Yeah.
What did he actually do with that in Baltimore, and what are the picks going to look like when he has the final say without a bunch of experience in that?
Yeah, I tend to believe what they were talking about in terms of like they're going to be a tandem. I think neither one of them feels like they have a big enough ego to where it's going to be like, you want this guy here? No, I want this guy here. Like, well, at the end of the day, you report to me, Joe, so it's my way or the highway. Like, I overall think that at any given point, they'll be like, hey, I trust you. Like, I'm going to lean on your expertise here. Like, I'm going to lean on our scouts. Like, I just don't foresee them really having a vehement disagreement. But, I mean, it's possible. We're all just projecting.
We'll see. I'm just a firm believer in pairing a GM and a head coach together and hiring them together and saying, you guys are in this together, instead of just kind of putting Shane in here, and then you wouldn't be shocked at all if Shane got fired next offseason and Harbaugh brought in his guy. It just feels kind of messy, and it's like, I get Shane's probably average, but like, is there really that much to gain by keeping him in the building and then just trying to build it together awkwardly?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Just dollars.
I always thought about the transition from Baltimore to New York, because I'd always hear about how the Ravens process is so analytical. Like, they have that like grade
they spend
that they give.
so much money on their software and all that. They have so many more people working in the back end than any other team.
Yeah, and there was that clip last year, it might have been at the Combine or maybe the Senior Bowl, like a year ago from now. They were talking about how like, the big clip was that they factor in Madden ratings into their overall score.
Yeah.
But the
1% weighted.
But the whole thing, that was the only thing people took from it. But it's that they have this score that they give every player, whether they're on the team or not, and it's a conglomerate of a bunch of different aspects, and that's what they go based off.
Girth.
It feels like the Giants are much more feel based, and I wonder how that transition for Harbaugh is going to be.
Yeah. I think he's going to want them to spend the money to like build up some of those systems that he felt like worked.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing they're not going to be resistant to it. Like, I think the Maras are just like, John Harbaugh's he's just a good guy and he wants what's best for the team and we're going to support him however we can. Like I think it might be a slow change because it's not easy to put institutional change that quickly, but I think it's going to happen.
To add a little bit of complexity to it, 2 of the Mara sons are in the personnel department for the Giants.
Ooh.
One of them is the acting owner because John Mara, the guy who was in Hard Knocks, has cancer. He has cancer of some sort. So the acting owner is actively involved in personnel as well. All I'm saying is there's a lot of voices in that room to make the final call with no real clear voice. Who's like Shane doesn't decide it. The owner. Do you want the owner making personnel decisions? Because it sounds like he's the guy who's making the final shot right now. Because that's who Harbaugh reports to. That's who Shane reports to.
Yeah, I could go wrong. I just think Brian Dable and John Harbaugh. Like I just think it's gonna work. He's so professional. Whenever I hear him talk.
Yeah, we'll see. The Miami Dolphins bring in a Packers executive who had been there for like 35 years. Woo. Spent the entire time he was there. They spent about 10 days. They say, I don't know who we're going to hire for head coach. And they say, what if we hired the guy who I've known the past few years, Jeff Halfley? And they say, ooh, that's a great idea. What if we did that?
Smart call.
What a crazy coincidence.
John
Beautiful.
Hyphen, you got
John
great brain on you.
Robinson. I could be making that up.
John Eric Sullivan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boom.
John hyphen Eric.
Yeah. John hyphen.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I think that I would have liked Halfley better in other places, but I think that for that organization that it's clear that they need a rebuild, I think it makes sense to take a shot on someone like Halfley.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are that he is there in 5 years? Like 30%?
Yeah, 30%.
It's just hard. Like when you're a defensive guy with no quarterback,
what is he going to do? Elevate that unit to be a top 10 defense every year for the next 5 years? You couldn't do that with the Packers without Parsons.
I know Anthony Weaver was just there, and he was like an equal level defensive candidate as Halfley this offseason.
Did a really nice job.
Yeah, it feels very uninspired. Like what ceiling of a football team are you really going to attain by this?
So I was looking at something today that was talking about how it was actually John Eric Sullivan's initial presser, and he was talking about how Halfley is a motivator coach, much like Saleh is.
So it's like a player-led team.
And yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to lead.
He doesn't even coach. The players coach themselves.
What's this guy getting paid to do? This is crazy.
It's a self-driving car.
Yeah, there we go.
But
motivator
coach, and I think that if I was an organization that I knew that the next steps to success for us was to bring in young players, inexperienced players with potential, I just need a guy that can come in and keep them focused and driven.
Yeah. I think every single head coaching search is a crapshoot, and so if you feel like you have a guy that at least can relate to players, at the very least, like you think you could be competitive, your players are going to fight. That's not a bad place to be in a rebuild. Like sometimes if you bring in this guy you think has more of an offensive scheme upside, but the effort isn't there on your team, I mean you're going to fail that way too. So
but I think to kind of drive home my point, I think Kubiak makes sense in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Halfley makes sense in Miami, and I think flipping them, it doesn't make sense.
Breaking news.
Really?
Ravens hire Jesse Minter as next head coach.
Okay. There we go.
Always liked that guy.
Wasn't breaking to me, but it's breaking.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't talked about it.
It's breaking to you guys.
Yeah. Hey, it's broken. Shit's gone.
I didn't know about it. Did you know about that, Connor?
I saw a headline. I didn't really look into it.
Oh. Minter, experience in the Ravens organization.
Yep.
Kind of feels like chasing the ghost of Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
A little bit. Seems like a really sharp defensive mind. He did a lot with not a lot in the Chargers in their organization. I feel like it's a good fit for them, and I just gut feel personally, I don't know what the fuck I damn talk about. I'm a fraud. But gut feel personally, I feel like that's an upgrade for them. When Harbaugh is there for that long and establishes that culture, it makes sense to me to take a guy who you know is going to fit your culture, a guy you know fits in the system and can still be that leader, but gives you an edge as a DC because they lacked in scheme this past year.
Yeah.
Minter will have a ton of pieces to work with, way more than he had to work with the Chargers. He's got Hamilton, Roquan, Madubuike coming back in the middle, all those corners that are talented. I like it.
I think he's got just as much talent as the Chargers had. So I feel like your defense, you can already expect to potentially be a top 10 unit again next year. I saw something today or yesterday. It was that when Minter went to the Chargers into the NFL, he said like his first thing he did that summer to like plan what he wanted to do for the Chargers roster was study Mike McDonald's defense, because it was off after that 2023 season where they were the number one defense in the league before McDonald left the Ravens. And he was looking at how they used Kyle Hamilton, and they were having Derwin James playing free safety. And he just felt like Derwin James had that same ability to interrupt the game and like play the run game, interrupt routes, just do it all, rush the quarterback. So he brought Derwin James into the slot, into the nickel position to play the Kyle Hamilton role. And I think it's just cool the fact that he admitted, he's like, oh, what did I do when I started coaching? I studied the number one defense that has similar DNA to me, and I like found what are the best elements of that like you have all these guys where they say, well, we need my types of players in my scheme. And yeah, it is his scheme, but to just like be willing to make those adjustments. And I think all in all, you're sad that the Ravens fired Harbaugh kind of because he's such a legend. I don't think this is the worst situation. I honestly feel like it kind of makes sense.
No, I totally agree.
For the Ravens.
At some point, you need a ceiling lifter and not a guy who's just consistently not giving you to the highest level. It's a difference between McDermott, where, I mean, he offers coordinator upside too, but that's 9 years. He's there for 18 years.
Yeah.
Like, that is a long time to continue to just try and set a baseline. Mm-hmm. To me, it gives them an opportunity where Minter demonstrated that he can do it with a team that probably has the 25th best defensive talent and make them a top 12 unit. I think the Ravens have top 10 defensive talent on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be a top 8 defense.
And they have guys like Mike Green didn't do as much as you thought he would as a rookie. Hopefully some better coaching, they can elevate him, and I'm sure they're going to want to reinforce that side of the ball. Honestly, Ravens have more holes than you think, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this whole offseason, but I like that call with Minter.
I feel like their win total will probably be like a half win higher than it would be if they had Harbaugh. Who the fuck knows? But
I'd probably go lower because I feel like those markets always bake in more risk for rookie head coaches.
Good point.
I think they did inventory of the team and said, well, this team's already running itself, and so let's get the cheapest guy in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a player
They need to announce that. I know like Ben Johnson got 13, and I heard that John Harbaugh got 20. But I want to go on a website the same way I can check NFL salaries and see what these head coaches are getting.
Yeah, right.
Matt LaFleur probably at like 2.
Well, I was looking. So, does anyone know what Halfley got?
No, I don't think it's really. It's like it takes insider reporting for it to get leaked.
Well, and I think the big thing is that if you're an experienced OC, you can make borderline the same amount as a first-time head coach.
Depends. I think they wanted to play Liam Cohen like 5.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a Buccaneers story, and then I imagine he made at least 10.
Yeah.
But those aren't that different.
I guess the caveat is if you're an OC and you have an OC head coach and you're not calling plays, you're not going to make that much money.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I have something that was kind of randomly on my mind that I just thought of.
Shoot your wad, son.
The Niners offensive coordinator is Clay Kubiak, and teams are wanting to interview him for their offensive coordinator position. And typically it's cordial if you have a non-play calling offensive coordinator that you would let them leave to another team to become a play calling offensive coordinator. But under the rules of the NFL, you don't need to because it's not a promotion. And traditionally all these guys, especially like Shanahan, McVay, but Shanahan had a quote this past week where he was like, I see no need to allow a guy to leave this organization. He is the offensive coordinator. He coordinates the offense. He would do that somewhere else too. Like, why would I need to let him leave? It's just interesting to me that it's like Kyle Shanahan snapped. He's like, I'm done with this shit. No one's leaving this organization. If you are good at coaching, I can't lose you anymore. Because with all the injuries and like coaching candidates they've lost over all the years, it's like, how do you keep going? So it's just interesting to see.
Titans hire Robert Saleh, 49ers DC, who I thought lifted that Niners unit with fucking zero talent.
Yep.
And led them to be competent. Held the Seahawks to 13 points that last week. Obviously didn't do that in the playoff matchup. but consistently lifts that unit that didn't have any talent to be at least decent.
In his first 3 years as the Jets head coach, they were first in EPA per play on defense across that sample.
Jesus.
Over a 3-year sample.
Fuck, that's crazy.
So yeah, he's a baller if he gets his players.
Yeah.
I think that the same note I put in for Hafley in Miami rings true with Saleh in Tennessee. That if you have a young team and you need a culture shift, you need a motivator.
Yeah. By all accounts, Brian Callahan didn't quite have the mojo to get the people moving.
No.
It was not provocative.
Nope.
Saleh gets a elite defensive tackle duo, Jeffrey Simmons, who's about 30, going on one of his fourth contract. Really good player,
Yeah,
considered
still
the best
elite, all-pro.
grades. And Tavondre Sweat, a second-year breakout who was considered a top 8 defensive tackle this year per PFF.
Oh, damn.
Really great center of the defense to work with. Kind of reminds you of Quinn Williams. The Niners didn't have that.
Yeah?
The Titans' defensive talent outside of that drops off a cliff, just like their offensive talent. They got Snead on the outside, and then a whole lot of dudes who I fucking don't even know.
Yeah, I think Snead's a dud. I think they have a corner. They have Tyson Campbell.
From the Jags.
Or do the Jags get him from the Browns? I forget. Never mind.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Well, I mean, regardless, they don't have anything outside their interior defensive line is not there to stay.
Yeah.
The only bright side is that they have a defensive-minded head coach, and they are slotted for a pretty sick defensive draft here.
Yeah.
A lot of options.
They got their pick of the edge guys. Whoever one of the edge guys they want, they can take.
No.
We'll see. I don't know. You can't have one more year of him looking this bad.
What do we think about them going DC instead of trying to get a guy who can develop Cam Ward? Stefanski goes to the Falcons. They're sitting there like,
It really comes down to what's his play for OC. I saw something that when he got hired, it was because he had a detailed and specific report on who he wanted for OC.
Right.
What does that mean? There's no OC announced yet. It was very detailed
and specific.
It's just like a piece of paper with a guy's name on it. Wow, what does that mean?
Just like Myles Garrett signed his extension once the Browns handed him a detailed report on who they plan to bring in at quarterback.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll sign this $40 million a year.
Let's go.
Oh, you can take Shedeur in the 5th round?
Yeah, a couple more million. Wow.
Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd? I'm in.
I know. That was such bunk. I hated that. He should have let himself get traded.
A little bit hesitant bringing in Saleh Ward with no clear offensive coordinator in mind. To bring in somebody who's good and he has to leave right away, then like, what are you doing?
I know. Ward reminds me of Caleb Williams to where it's like you see a lot of things like arm talent at the wazoo, can make some pretty impressive throws, can actually adjust in the pocket occasionally, but I mean his offensive line didn't play well and he had probably some of the worst the receiving group as a whole. And so if you don't bring in a new offensive mind, those guys aren't going to improve quickly, and then you're through 2 years, and it's like Cam Ward still sucks.
Yeah.
Like the narrative on these guys matters. Even if you think he's a good player, if you're not getting any results in 2 years, it can start to tank vibes real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think the same thing rings true with Bryce Young.
What about Bryce Young?
He didn't get the result, so now everyone thinks he sucks forever.
But he is a dog.
But he's a dog, a
yeah,
small
but
dog. But
they have offensive line.
Yeah.
And a good run game.
Yeah.
And Jalen Coker and Ted McMillan.
I during the draft process with Cam Ward, I kept seeing the Ben Roethlisberger comp, and I'm like, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. But
that was Tice's comp.
Oh, really?
He loved the Ben Roethlisberger thing because he sits in the pocket. Yeah. He's tough. He can shed off sacks, and he can just rip it all over the field.
I just pictured him being the stoic, can't be moved Roethlisberger.
It's like little post-pressure juice where he kind of gets off the guy who's sacking him and makes a play.
Maybe I think of him being older, too. Not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but towards the end of the season, I started to see it, and now I can't unsee it.
Oh, you like it now? The Roethlisberger
I do,
comp.
yeah.
Interesting.
Not necessarily like I like it or hate
but
it.
You see
I see it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I see a Super Bowl in his future. Pretty likely.
I see a Super Bowl loss to Aaron Rodgers in his future.
Oh, darn.
Fuck. Shit.
If Aaron Rodgers beat Cam Ward.
With the Vikings?
Next year.
I hope the Vikings sign Rodgers.
Mike Tomlin steps down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers after 19 seasons. Looks like he's looking... The fucking Bills opening, sitting there staring him right in the eyes, just being like, "Please, Mike Tomlin."
I don't feel like the Bills would hire Tomlin.
I don't feel like it's a fit either. But in terms of just like caliber of head coach and
Yeah.
caliber of opening. It just screams like, okay,
You'd want to match him up.
do you want to win a Super Bowl, Mike Tomlin? Do you
True.
want this?
True.
Like, this is your best opportunity. It seems like he's taking a year off for the media.
Yeah.
He's going to get a bunch of hype, just like Sean Payton did when he took a year off. He's going to get a bunch of hype. Sean Payton took a year off, did media. I was like, oh, everyone, Sean Payton's such a
Vrabel,
great
same
mind.
thing.
Vrabel, he'll get a great job next offseason. Probably his pick of the litter. We'll see. He's getting older. What do we think, Connor, about the Steelers stepping down and telling Mike Tomlin, or Mike Tomlin telling them, I'm just not ready for this job anymore. It's not a fit.
I think he kind of got fed up with the whole thing. I think that for a while now, people have been murmuring about his job.
Yeah.
And
Fire Tomlin.
I think it's just like, if you have respect for yourself and you know what you can do as a coach, I don't want to be working at a place that everyone's telling me that I suck and that I shouldn't be there.
I mean, they need to tear the roster down.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, are you going to stay here for 3 more years and finally break your win record because we're rebuilding, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, and then do you really want, we were winning and people still didn't like
So
it.
if they have a 6-win season, what happens then?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Matt, if you're the Steelers GM, are you calling the Patriots and saying, hey, 2 firsts for TJ Watt?
I would love to offload. I feel like I'm probably wrong about this. This is like dynasty brain. I love the idea of getting extra draft capital for getting rid of veterans.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to be in the locker room. I just lose games and get a high draft pick. It's awesome. Where realistically, when you're actually in the locker room and you have to see all your players' faces and losing, that's really freaking hard. But no, I would trade Highsmith and TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, I think maybe would just retire if you traded him. So maybe not
Ramsey.
him. Yeah, Ramsey. And anything, and maybe you're getting 3rds, 5ths even for Ramsey. I don't know. His contract's pretty big.
Yeah.
His contract is huge, absurd.
Yeah. Well, that's why their build. That's why it made sense for Tomlin to step down, because their build was maxed out to win now, and they weren't good. So you can't have all these veterans and be a win now team. So I think it makes sense for him to step down. And for hiring, man, I feel like because of what they do, I'd like them to take a risk again, find some young guy. I know some guys from have you guys heard the Grant Udinski hype? Do you guys know who that is? He's like a boy genius vibe. I think he's currently the Jags OC. And there's also Nate Scheelhaas, who was the Rams passing game coordinator.
Yeah, I've heard him.
But those names have been mentioned around as guys that are in their lower 30s who are man, they're geniuses when it comes to scheme. And I heard Grant Udinski talk in a press conference. I just saw a clip. Sounded pretty coach-like. Sounded like he seemed like he could be a genius. I kind of like that for the Steelers. Take a risk on maybe Chris Shula too. I've seen that name thrown around. I just like them doing their thing. Get a young guy, because a young guy you can lose for a year or a year and a half without it being the sky's falling.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it looks better on ownership and the decision makers when you put less expectation on a season that probably might not go that well. And it's like if Tennessee hired Harbaugh and then they sucked again, really bad, it's well, why did we even bring this guy in?
Totally.
Why did we bring him in?
But when you need to reset the roster and you don't have a quarterback, to me, go a young guy. Maybe he fails and then it sucks, but you give yourself a chance for that ceiling, and you can maybe tank for a year and get a good, because the Jets hiring Aaron Glenn, it didn't work very well in year 1, and now it's just well, should we fire him right now? Probably not, because it's been 1 year, but man, he did kind of suck.
Right. Grogan, if you're the Steelers GM, are you thinking, hey, let's ride out this defensive core for 3 more years and we try and do a 5-year rebuild, hope we can find a quarterback along the way? Are you trying to get rid of all the assets now, go into a 3-year tank, try and pull assets for next year's quarterback class? Where are you going in terms of are you trying to think, I want to compete next year?
The Steelers don't strike me as a tanking organization.
Tomlin's gone.
Yeah, regardless, they don't strike me as a tanking organization. Even it's low-hanging fruit since we're Packers fans, but even when McCarthy was gone, and I was at the game the Packers played the Cardinals. They lost on like last second field goal, and McCarthy was fired right after that game. Everyone thought that it was like over, and then we brought in LaFleur, and we said there might be a year or two. We're going to bring in the pieces, but we're getting there. We're not going to intentionally try to get like better draft picks. We're not going to sell the farm. Like we didn't. We offloaded contracts when it made sense. To.
Counterpoint, you guys currently had a Hall of Fame quarterback during this transition period.
And they drafted Jordan Love that year, and they didn't have a.
Hey, Steelers have a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hall of Fame. Who's even Mason Rudolph?
No, fucking Will fucking Ohio State.
Yeah,
Will Howard,
Howard.
6th-round pick, future franchise quarterback.
He learned from Aaron Rodgers. It really just honed his craft that whole year. And now
or they
he's ready
say
to
they
go.
keep Aaron Rodgers for the rebuild.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Even if they're not a tanking organization, they could at least say, we're building.
Yeah.
It's not a tank. We're building. We're getting young.
Oh, okay, but Cleveland's been saying they're building for a long time.
I just think
The Jets use the adjective building. It's
I
like
know.
it's like a corporate adjective.
I know, but like I don't think that you need to like be the Steelers and like look internally and be like, we're tanking. You know what? We're gonna suck this year. It's like, you know what? I think we need to reset. We need to shoot our sights higher for a few years away, and we need to start building. Like it doesn't need to be so negative. It could be like, let's get this thing going back up again.
Yes, but my argument is the adjectives you put on it, the descriptor words you put on.
You're saying
on
I'm putting
your
fluff on it.
It's like you can say you're pivoting.
I'm fluffing it
or
up.
you're in a build. Like we're rebuilding this.
Yeah.
But in reality, you have every intention to lose as many games as possible.
No, you'd love to win games. You're just getting young.
I don't understand what the Steelers can do if they're getting this. If they're winning 7-8 games after they lose time when they're still trying to be competitive. They're getting the 16th pick in the draft the next 3 years. They're sitting there with no quarterback, a shitty offensive line, Metcalf who's 31, and a defense that's aged.
Yeah.
What is the goal there? What are you trying to get to?
Mm-hmm. Well, like here's in the Bears year one under Eberflus, we had Roquan Smith and another defensive end that was talented enough. And within that year, it was clear that. Yeah. Wait,
It wasn't Khalil Mack, was it?
Oh, because Nagy had 1 year with Fields, and the first year Eberflus, it was Fields' second year. So Khalil Mack was traded in the offseason, but he had a big contract, so it wasn't that much value.
Yeah.
But then we traded another defensive end and Roquan Smith all in that year. Then we had 3 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibes were bad, but it was in year one of a new coach. So we were able to use that number 1 overall pick to trade back with Carolina and get the haul, which led to Caleb Williams. But the main thing is, like, the vibe, people didn't think Eberflus was some cancerous, terrible coach, even though he went 3-14, because the vibe of the season was trade away veterans for picks.
Yeah.
And not everything went as well as you'd hope there, but a lot of those picks are what allowed the Bears to like get to competency now. And obviously it wasn't under Eberflus, but in his second year he got 7 wins, and then the over/under was 8.5 in year 3. It failed. We got only 5 wins, but they're like, if Eberflus didn't suck, the system could have worked. It could have gone 3, 7, 10, 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I like that as an option, especially when you've been like fake competing for 6 years.
Right.
Yeah, but okay, all that to say, I think you ship at least, like, you have so many assets on the defensive line, and and I don't know if you're going to have any of them in your window.
You won't.
So why not
Yeah.
ship off a TJ Watt? Why not? And honestly, it's like there's always that argument of like, it's a disservice to the guy keeping him in his prime.
It's a cruel business.
Like, not giving him a shot, forcing him to go through a rebuild to end his career.
I mean, I would generally agree with that. If I'm TJ Watt, could spend my entire career with the Steelers. I could go somewhere and try and win. I'd prefer to be that.
And I think it's nice to cater to your veterans, and you do want to a point, but
Yeah.
Matt, what did I miss head coaching cycle news? Anything I missed?
I don't think head coaching, I mean, we could talk more about some firings. I don't think that's too interesting. I do have some OCs that I think could be fun to quick chat about.
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Rapid fire it.
Starting off, Mike McDaniel to the Chargers. I think this is the most interesting A lot of people really thought McDaniel should be head coach. I was one of them. I wanted him to go to the Titans, to my precious Cam Ward. Didn't work out, but man, Justin Herbert with
McDaniel,
a top 10 play caller potentially. I mean, that
for
could be,
sure, in my mind.
yeah. And you have the cultural floor with Harbaugh. The defense we'll have to see next year because they're losing Minter. But man, if they can get Slater and Alt back, fill in a few more pieces on the offensive line, get Hampton going, McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Aronde Gadsden, this could be a fun offense to watch next year.
No income tax to.
No, California.
No, he's in
has it.
California. There's mega
I
income
messed it
tax.
up.
No, that's what I was
up.
saying. It's even from no income tax to the highest income.
But he's
tax.
making less. It's all strategical. He's
He's
making less. He's
money.
trying to
He's in a lower
optimize.
tax
You're
bracket.
right.
I hear ya.
Dude, whoever is giving Mike McDaniel advice, I want to just shout him out. He had the Eagles job. He was the number one candidate. The Lions didn't really want him.
Don't go to the Eagles.
Go play for Jim Harbaugh. You know
Totally.
what the storyline is going to be a year from now? Mike McDaniel has learned what it's looked like to be in a great organization with a great head coach. He's seen what culture looks like at the high level. He's an elite play caller.
Oh, yeah.
The Herbert is going to be fucking electric with a Herbert. Don't go coach Jalen Hurts. Go coach Justin Herbert. It doesn't matter who the receivers are. Finally get a quarterback where you guys have someone who can throw downfield. His entire career he's been with Dolphins quarterbacks who cannot throw the ball more than 30 yards downfield. He's getting a guy who can throw fucking lasers
Herbert's
anywhere.
good at everything.
Good at everything. Hopefully they can get Ioane from Penn State in the draft or some sort of Caden Proctor, some sort of guard to build up that offensive interior.
Yep.
I just feel like Mike McDaniel, this makes perfect sense to me for in 2 years you can say, I've been training under Jim Harbaugh for the past 2 years.
Or not even.
Even a year.
Look at Saleh.
I think it could be a 1 year reset. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're a top 10 offense next year, which is pretty likely,
Yeah.
he's gonna be one of the best candidates.
Yes. I just thought that was in my mind. I was like, the Eagles, I should go to the Eagles, but I was like, no, it makes perfect sense. I can see it right now. He's been under Jim Harbaugh for a year.
He's such a timing based offense.
Yeah.
Hurts would be so bad for that. Like Herbert makes
That's a great
sense.
point. He wants to throw over the middle all the time.
Yeah.
Hurts doesn't
Well,
wanna
and
do
also
that.
it gives you time for people to forget about the negatives.
Totally.
And the same thing with Saleh.
Vrabel,
It's the fact that
yep.
everyone's thinking about that Saleh hire as this guy. He did something. Like this guy, there's positivity around.
Yeah.
him. It's not the failed Jets head coach.
Oh, so we're gonna hire a head coach that just lost? Are we kooky? Hey, we might be stupid. We're not that stupid.
I think not.
Yeah. Boy.
No thanks. He just
Bingo.
lost, dumbass.
No, so that's really exciting. One that's probably not quite as exciting. The Buccaneers have announced a new OC, and that being Zach Robinson, formerly the Falcons OC, formerly under that Sean McVay's little boy. What do you guys think?
Little in-division steal there.
I know, a little crazy.
Falcons let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he has a higher floor than Grizzard. Seems like Grizzard just didn't have it. Robinson, they get some mix of the the McVay scheme. Shanahan has to get some. I feel like you want to go kind of West Coast play action with Baker and just try and get the running game back to where it was when Liam Cohen was there. They got a good offensive line. I feel like it's a good fit.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, and I think it's with a guy like Zach Robinson where you don't wow anyone out the gate. Like you are likely to get better. I mean, I think he's still, I don't know, younger than 45. Like these additional years, I think he can keep building. I know one of the bigger criticisms of him was, this is a stat within the first 3 weeks, their formation and their run percentage versus their pass percentage was like, it was like this formation was like 85% pass rate, this formation 85% run rate.
I remember that.
So I don't know how that remedied throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, their offense didn't light anyone on fire. They had Caleb McGarry got injured and other stuff, but I think it's not going to save Todd Bowles' job. That's my first guess. Todd Bowles is going to get fired next year, probably.
Yep.
But in terms of all options out there, you're not going to find a Liam Cohen every year. You can't.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's working with a lot better talent than he was in, maybe not a lot better, but I think firmly better talent than he was in Atlanta and Tampa.
I think you just trust Baker to set the floor. It doesn't make sense because the floor fell out. But
4 at least good receivers. They're looking at Sadiq in the draft maybe. They got Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, who's a stud.
yeah,
They got nice interior.
they have Ben Bredesen, I think, as a guard, and then they have that Duke guy, who was a first-round
fuck.
pick 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I forget. He had a big chest. I don't know his name.
Big chest.
Big chest Duke guy.
Barton. Graham
Graham
Barton.
Bard. Oh, hey, this guy knows draft.
Damn,
Sick.
dude. Why the fuck you gotta flex on us like
No,
that?
that
dude?
was
We get
sick.
we
I don't
get it.
know.
You watched the Senior Bowl. All right.
Okay.
You're dialed into the Senior
All
Bowl.
right.
And then
Yeah, one more.
We'll pivot into the Lions OC. They hired Drew Petzing
Yeah.
of the Arizona Cardinals. He was there all 3 years under John Gannon. Worked with Kyler. Didn't really work very well, but there were some more interesting things potentially underneath with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Who has a skill set a lot more similar to Goff than he does to Kyler. So
Excellent point.
either one of you guys got any thoughts on Petzing?
I really don't.
He's ugly.
Yeah, he's bald.
He's ugly. What? What are you trying to say?
I thought we were just saying things we don't like about him.
I think you should fight.
You have to fight him now.
Let's just. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Can we just move on?
I think the Lions will be better on
All right.
offense next year.
You
That's
got
what
any
I
more
think.
OCs?
I
Matt?
agree.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I know Christian Parker. He was the DB's coach for the Eagles under Fangio. He's been around Fangio for a while. His name for multiple years has been mentioned as an up-and-coming, really hot, really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he got hired as the Cowboys DC.
Yeah.
I saw Cooper DeJean put out a tweet like, "Dang, in division, like Christian Parker, I'll love you forever."
Yeah.
But he said CP, and so people think that sounds like child.
He loves it forever.
How he loves CP. So
Well, he is dating a 41-year-old WWE.
yeah, he
star,
goes
so
up
he's
and he goes down.
Fuck, versatile, just like his play.
That's
Yeah.
Gene. Okay, but I saw that.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Cowboys can do better than Eberflus.
Yeah. All right. Is that the last one?
I think so.
All right. So I think it's a good time to have a break here. This podcast is brought to you by Football Frauds Podcast.
Ooh.
Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Playoff time. Sick playoff slate there last weekend. Bunch of sick matchups. The Broncos beat the Bills 33-30 in a toss-up game in Denver. Bo Nix fractures his ankle on the second to last play of the game.
Passed away.
No one sees it coming. All of a sudden, we've got Jared Stidham in the AFC Championship game.
Stupid.
Sean McDermott gets fired because of this game. Literally because of this game, per Terry Pagula.
Yep.
Thoughts on Broncos Bills?
I'm just pissed. I don't want the Patriots to have another dynasty, and their defense all of a sudden is amazing. I don't know who they have as their DC, but I want him out of there. And they're playing really well, and I think they have a legitimate chance at winning this whole thing, which is stupid, and they get to play against a backup, and I'm just mad.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Are you pro-Patriot?
No, but
You would die for this country.
I think it's fun.
I mean, you are a Patriot.
I think it's fun because I don't harbor the same F the Patriots that I did at one point.
Yeah,
I think
you just like when the rich get richer.
I was like, I had my laughs when they sucked.
You know, Jeff Bezos, I
But-
wish he had a little more money. Conor Grogan. That's what you're saying to me right now.
Is that why you fought for our country? So Jeff Bezos could have more money. By the way, Connor's a veteran. A veteran of war.
He died for this country and our sins.
He attempted to die. He couldn't because he's too tough.
Oh.
I heard that. Someone said that.
Miles, you got any thoughts?
I wanted Josh Allen to win.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Jared Stidham in the Super Bowl. That would make me sad and dejected. I just wanted Josh Allen to
I
win.
only want him in there if he's going to win it. If he's going to win it, I'd love it. If he's going to get wrecked, then it sucks.
That would suck. I just like Josh Allen.
I think I hate the Foles comparisons to Stidham. I think that it's like, and obviously it's the most recent, like you can point to. It's not over. It's not over, Broncos fans. But Stidham is not Nick Foles. Didn't Nick Foles have some starting experience beforehand?
Don't know. You got starting experience afterwards. You got a big ass contract. Maybe Stidham can make some cash.
I think he was just a backup, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see it, and I hope I'm wrong. It'd be pretty cool to have another Foles in the league.
I do know that Stidham was when Sean Payton got to Denver. It was his first move in his first free agency, and he always like raves about him at the podium. But you could rave about anyone, you know.
Yeah.
I've raved about people.
Yeah, I've raved with people.
Really?
Mike, they call me Mike Ravel.
Name one
Mike
time.
the Rave Rabel?
Name
Rabel.
one time, Matt.
Oh,
That's
you weren't.
exactly what I thought.
It was actually.
Well, I can't tell you about it because classified things were going on.
Because I
Matt.
wasn't invited.
No, Matt.
Yeah.
I remember it was last weekend.
Oh yeah.
We were like-
Last weekend.
We were like, dude, should we invite Connor? And I was like, no.
No, Nancy's,
that guy does
Nancy's
not party.
gonna be there.
He does not
He's
party.
not that fun at parties. He doesn't drink enough.
Dude, and Bernadette hates when Connor shows up.
I like player-led raves.
So in the other AFC game, Patriots-Texans, the Texans offense and specifically C.J. Stroud disintegrated and blew up all at the same time.
It's like
Not a dog? question mark?
I've been on record
dog watch?
not liking C.J. Stroud. Sheep watch.
Oh yeah, fraud. I guess he'd be fraud watch.
4 picks in the first half.
And I've never been happier watching the demise of someone in a playoff game
Yeah.
than that. And not because I have anything against the
No,
guy.
because you're a bad person.
Just because I needed me to be right.
Drake May, 2 pick and 2 fumbles in this game. One of them recovered by the Texans. Drake May actually had a lower QBR than Stroud in this game, for what it's worth. Or May had a higher EPA per play. Obviously, May is going against a much better Patriots. A much better Texans defense.
Yeah.
but weren't the QBRs atrocious?
Yeah, they're both
like
terrible.
20.
I just think it's interesting narrative-wise to,
I
get that fact.
I forget what the exact. So one of their touchdowns was defensive. So they had 3 touchdowns on offense. I think they had like 1 first down on every single one of their other drives.
Yeah.
So it was like either Drake puts together 3 good passes and they score, or it was like everything else he did the whole day was bad.
What I'm interested in this for the AFC Championship game is how well the Patriots have schemed against these flawed offenses. They hold the Chargers to 3 points. They hold the Texans to 16. They got the Broncos coming up here with a backup quarterback. They've been blitzing the hell out of teams the first 2 weeks of the playoffs. Really been bringing in a lot of complex schemes with their DC. I'm really interested to see what they can do to Stidham against a loaded Broncos offensive line. Garrett Bowles has been a great tackle. And on the other side of the ball, what I'm interested in the AFC Championship is a struggling Will Campbell, who is now looking like probably the 4th best offensive tackle if you're to rate him out of the first round of this year's draft. As of right now, despite being taken, 3rd or 4th overall. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how he holds up against Nick Bonito and what the Patriots can do. They're going to try and run the ball over and over again and just, run it down the throat of Denver, whose run defense is shockingly not that great. They're really good at finishing with sacks. I'm interested to see what Bonito can do against Will Campbell and what the Patriots have to do when they have to drop back and throw it against Surtain and that loaded secondary.
Yeah. I kind of, at this point, I feel like Drake May is just going to ascend into another world beater, and I'm going to be sad. And he's going to he had no time there. How did he layer that throw in that little gap? And it's like, just because he's Drake freaking May.
I have $50 in the Patriots.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Yep.
I think that's reasonable.
Yep. Connor, any thoughts on Broncos Pats?
No, none. I think that I said in the last podcast that I think that if I was the Bills organization, this is the year that I'd be really pissed off if it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
It went down about par for the course.
That's a good point.
It's the crazy thing about that is I think Josh Allen it was like 200 straight dropbacks without throwing an interception in the playoffs, and there's a bunch of these other stats on how well he's played recently, and then he finally has to not play against Lamar or Patrick Mahomes, and then he plays his worst game by far.
Back-to-back picks.
Like the one fumble he had at the end of the first half, he's just running 15 yards downfield with it like basically out like, come and get it. Do you want it? And then they just smack it out of his hands.
Yeah.
Will Anderson had some unbelievable strip sacks on Drake. Like the fucking timing of that, it was just there was one thing where Will Anderson gets like a 0.2 second jump off the ball, and Drake May gets to the back of his 3-step drop and like winds up, and Anderson's already there, like perfect timing, ripping the ball out of his hand.
The tackle barely poked him.
Yeah.
On his way to the quarterback.
Yeah, I guess the consensus stock has always been up on Will Anderson, but I think my personal stock on Will Anderson shot the F up, like to the moon with after
Seeing
this not even just like that, just like the whole playoffs.
Okay.
It's like it was clear that every game, because I had the opportunity to watch game after game after game, and just had my attention on it, that he was pretty much the sole reason why these quarterbacks had 0 time.
Oh, he's a beast.
It was crazy.
I think Anderson's right there with Parsons for most valuable defensive asset, including age. Hutchinson right behind
Oh,
him.
yeah.
That'll be a future episode I'm so excited for, is the franchise draft, including coaches. All right. Seahawks-Niners. The Seahawks embarrassed the 49ers. They give up 3 points in their first matchup, 6 in the second. No touchdowns in 2 weeks. Mike McDonald cooks up a masterpiece. The Seahawks roll, starting with the Rashid Shaheed kickoff return for a touchdown, electric, and it was never even close in this game. Thoughts, Connor?
It was. I think from that, I've always been huge on Rashid Shaheed, and it was his rookie year. I drafted him when he was in New Orleans, and
Oh, yeah.
for one of my fantasy teams. And it was like this guy. Every game, he'd have one catch, 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I'd say at least 60-yard tutty.
And so when the Saints traded him and the Seahawks got him, I was just waiting for it to pay off, and
Yeah,
I knew it would. Like, this guy is electric.
Yeah.
And he's not even like close to being one of the best players on the team.
Talk about a trade deadline home run.
Yeah.
Talk about just bringing in a guy who is just not really essential to anything you do, but just like adds this aspect of speed that was missing, and all of a sudden 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, big play, jet sweeps.
I mean, I feel like it worked out for them because of the special teams, and obviously they're a smart organization. They had that baked in. I'm just surprised they haven't gotten the ball more.
I agree.
With Clint Kubiak on the Saints last year, he was a focal point.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp, I guess, 40 years old, still good enough for them.
Yeah.
I think as time goes on, the dumber the Minnesota franchise is looking about getting rid of Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
I think
So tough.
I think that from the jump, I was like, do I think this guy is the second coming? No, he's Sam Darnold.
No, I didn't want him in
He
Dynasty
might be
at
dating
all.
Hawk to a girl, allegedly. I don't know.
That's news to me.
That's a story for a different time.
Yeah.
But it's clear that he has what it takes to at least facilitate a winning team, a winning offense at least. And to get rid of that guy, it's just so dumb to me. And I want him to win just to prove that organization was dumb.
For the record, I was in favor of moving on from
Same.
Darnold as the Vikings. I didn't believe in McCarthy specifically.
How
but
bad? This is me. How bad could JJ McCarthy be? That was a dumb question. I'm dumb. I'm a fraud, and Sam Darnold's not, and that's where we're at.
I also thought the trade with Geno for Darnold would be an objective downgrade.
Dude, the Seahawks just home run
A+.
everything. The
A+.
last 2 years, I don't even know how, that's just something to show that at any point your team, like the Patriots, the Bears, the Jags this year, the Seahawks recently, the Broncos. Remember when they had to cut Russell Wilson? What's so cool about the NFL is you just need to make a couple good moves in a row, and boom, you're contending for a Super Bowl.
Witherspoon, Emanwari, Zabel, back-to-back drafts.
Yeah, and
Nasty.
even some of their later picks from
Torrey
previous
Horton.
years, Charles Cross.
They just gave him an extension. He's been really good.
Yeah, Abe Lucas, some of their offensive linemen where it was like, this is the worst offensive line in the league. The 2 tackles are the same as what was there prior. It just
Brought in Clint Kubiak.
You get them a little better and you fix the scheme, and now they yeah, they're beast.
Let's get on to the one that was sad. We watched this game together. It was
Romantic.
building up to be maybe the most electric football experience in my life.
Holy cow.
The Bears lose 20-17 in OT.
You want to start with the week one? I mean, the wild card?
Huh?
Quick go over the Bears-Packers game.
Yeah, Matt,
Oh.
I'll give you the honors of that one.
Hit Bears Packers. I got to pee quick.
Okay. Man, yeah, it feels so long ago after that Bears-Rams game, just all the emotions you go through in a week leading up to a game where it's just pure nerves, and then coming out of it where when the Bears were down 21-3 in that game, it felt like every other Bears moment of my life where this season being good was almost more cruel and more twisted, because when it came down to it, the Bears still suck. I truly in my bones felt like the Bears still suck, and it just, man, I don't even know how it happened. Nothing specifically went that crazy wrong. Just Jordan Love was picking us apart. And then in the second half, our defense started blitzing more and trying to disguise some coverages. And for some reason, Jordan Love's passes would be dropped or would be just an inch away from being caught, or something would go wrong. And We just put together enough decent drives. Caleb Williams had some crazy moments. Didn't play that amazingly well on the whole, but the highlight moments were insane. The game inches closer and closer and closer. When Matthew Golden had that touchdown where he broke like 4 tackles,
Yeah.
it felt like it was going to be over
Really?
at that point because we were down 21-3. The
Yeah.
fact that you guys got back to 27, and then the missed field goals, 2 missed field goals and
Yeah.
a missed extra point, those were crucial in coming back. But man, that 4th and 8,
That feel good, Matt?
Caleb Williams rolling to the
great.
left, finding Rome Odunze. How does his body move like that? It is a sexual experience. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, the last touchdown was to DJ. A little fake screen. Get the hips sliding, get the hips revved up. Ooh, it's a fake throw. Boom, DJ's open down the sideline.
Yeah. Let me walk you guys through something here. The Packers were stomping the hell out of the Bears, and I was watching the game with Matthew and
me.
and Miles.
Goat you.
I mean, but you were taking a piece. You weren't relevant to the story until right now.
You were peeing the whole night.
Packers are beating the hell out of the Bears. Matt is clearly deflated, showing the emotion on his face. As a good friend, I said, Matt, I remember a game 6 years ago.
This is cancerous.
6 years ago.
What?
That it's possible to come back, Matthew.
Oh my
I've seen
gosh.
Aaron Rodgers do it
That
against
is
you
so
guys.
bad.
It's possible. Matt was not happy about that.
No.
And then Caleb had his Perk Rodgers game.
Perk Rogers.
He had his
Perk Caleb.
He had his Perk Caleb game. And now I am never going to say anything that could possibly jinx the Packers or make any Bears fan feel good ever again.
So what do you guys have to say? Is the rivalry back on? Are we're competing next year, right?
This game is the best thing that's happened in the NFL in terms of rivalries, and as long as I can remember.
Gotta be.
Yeah. I think that there is a very sour taste in my mouth and a lot of negative feelings in my heart towards Ben Johnson, and I thank him for that. If that makes any sense.
I was in Chicago
Oh yeah.
last weekend, and I was in there with my girlfriend. We were visiting for her mom's birthday, and on Sunday we went to like some sort of like place where they have plants inside. It's called like a herbatarium or
Arboretum?
Arboretum, yeah, shit like that. And I woke up and I just felt joy that the Bears were advanced to the next round and that I could like actually be a hater for once in my life. So I put on my Packers hat, I put on my Parsons jersey, I rolled up to the Arboretum, I made eye contact with every dad wearing a Bears jersey. I looked them in the eyes, I winked at multiple of them.
Slapped him on the butt.
I slapped them on the butt, they looked at me, they shook their heads, and I just said, God, man, it just feels good to be a fucking hater again. Like, it just felt good to have respect for that team.
Yeah.
After a team that I just haven't respected for 20 years, who it's been a rivalry, but not a rivalry, who've just been, like, jamming it down their throat, and Roger just quite literally owned them. It wasn't... Obviously, I appreciate all those times we had, but, like, I just didn't care about the Bears. I care about the Bears now.
I'm never going to go into the season being like, you know what? The Bears could be good this year, Matt.
The two
Yeah.
Bears...
The Bears. I think
That
they
was
have a
everyone.
good team.
Everyone was like, you know what, Sonny? Might not be so bad this year. Like, there might be some crop that we can have in the spring together. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope the corn will be good this upcoming spring.
No.
You never know.
Yeah, but there was real hope. We ate all spring and summer. There was food.
It's back. It's alive and well. That's all I'm going to say towards it.
Yeah.
So,
Every year, the two biggest games in the schedule are going to be the Bears games.
Yeah,
So.
I'm trying to think of like big rivalries. You have Steelers, Ravens. There hasn't been too much juice the past 5 years. Definitely some big games, but I'm trying to like Saints, Buccaneers is one.
Pats Bills of recent this year.
No, but it's usually Pats Jets, and that hasn't been that good.
Niners, Seahawks.
Niners, I was gonna say, or like
Seahawks, Rams, Niners, Rams.
Niners, Rams has been good recently.
Broncos, Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like
Maybe
it's
we're just biased. but
Packers, Bears.
it's-
It just feels we're biased. It feels bigger.
No, I think that is an objective take that Packers Bears is back as the biggest rivalry.
I
in the NFL.
saw there's a TV stat like the percentage of the TV market that was watching the Bears Rams game, and the biggest market was Chicago, and then number 2 was Minneapolis, number 3 was Milwaukee, and number 5 was Detroit. and like LA is not even on the list for the like how much of the market's watching the game because they don't care about the Rams in LA. Whereas all these like northern teams, like if you're a Lions, Vikings, or Packers fan, you're watching that game being like, "Fuck Ben Johnson," or like, "I hope." Well, maybe
you
some
can
people are
fucking
like,
go outside and do stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Nothing to do.
But that's why the rival they mean more because it matters more to the individuals here.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hype.
I think it's a beautiful thing. I was torn up about it, and deep down, I have a deep down satisfaction of conflict that I can treat Matt with respect as a fan instead of just being. Because Matt, I respect him very much as a human.
No.
And it feels better to me to feel like we're on the same level now as fans now, where he doesn't always have to be like, oh, we're gonna suck this year and everything's fucking stupid. And I have to try and talk him into bullshit.
I'm gaping and you're gonna slam into me again.
No. So let's move on to Bears Rams.
Yeah.
God damn, what a game! What a fucking that throw by Caleb. If they had won the game,
Caleb.
To me is the defining throw of the decade.
Oh,
He sprints back 30 yards. He throws it up. It feels like the obvious situation where they pan the camera. There's 3 Rams defenders and they just bat it down and they cheer. And they go, oh, they're just thinking, oh, fuck. Oh. Like literally, Matt, as the play is happening, he's like, no, Caleb, no. Throws it up. They pan. The camera's falling. He goes, you see Cole come back, and then it was
we set off a little earthquake in that basement that night.
It was. I'm not even a Bears fan. I can't defend it, but it was just pure elation for it. Just one of the most electric moments I've ever experienced as a fan.
They're like the most like, it's so over, it's so over,
it's so over. We're so back.
Yeah. Like literally, it felt like the game was so dead, and then damn the whole game. I remember the first drive. There was a Roma Dunze drop, and then we went for it on 4th, didn't get any points. Another time we had we had the first and goal from the 5, had 4 attempts at it, 0 points. Our success rate was actually 9% higher than the Rams. It was like 42 versus 33.
Mm-hmm.
Just some couple bad throws by Caleb going back to the film, couple drops. And then that we had like the percentage for us to win in overtime on that final drive. It was at like 74.
Just needed a field goal.
We were at the 50-yard line. It was 2nd and 8, and the play design works. We're throwing the ball downfield, and both Rome is injured and DJ is a baby, so they both kind of like start jogging at the end of their route. So the safety for the Rams doesn't really have to fear either route. He just watches the ball the whole way. DJ is a baby, and he just easily intercepts it. Like it's not a great thrown ball, but.
I think we should buy a tank, and then we should take Brandon McManus and put him in the arm of the tank, or the gun of the tank that shoots it, and then take DJ Moore, also shove him in the same
in front.
Shove him in the same gun, and then shoot them into the sun.
Okay. Or I think we should purify Brandon McManus into a tank pellet. I don't know what they're called. Shell ammunition. And fire it into DJ Moore.
His butt.
Into his butt. Yeah.
It'd miss.
I would like to communicate.
It'd go off the upright.
I would like to... off the cheek. Doink off the cheek.
I respect Brandon. I respect Brandon McManus because he tried and he failed.
And he's had good years in the NFL.
I hate DJ Moore. I hate him.
Oh, he's a baby.
I'm a Packers fan and I hate him. You cannot not show effort in any portion of the NFL at any time at that big of a moment to not fucking finish your route. I don't like it. Wasn't that he wasn't running a deeper line. He just stopped running.
Yeah.
He didn't. He wasn't running a deeper route. He just stopped running.
I know. And then he didn't talk to the media in any. There's locker room appearances after the game and the next day for clearouts, and he was like the only relevant player on the team. So it's like he knows that he's a baby, and then he messed up. Like
shoot him into the fucking sun.
Okay.
I think we're going to trade him, but we'll see.
But I'll agree with everything you're saying. I'll put that caveat on it. But like I've been saying, he came from the Panthers. The Panthers sucked.
But he was their best player.
The Bears. The Bears sucked.
Yes. And now it's his career chance to ball out.
But what I'm saying is that it's hard to just switch a mentality.
I'm saying
it's hard to come into the league with so much like, I got this. I'm going to win. I'm going to do everything for my team. And then realize that it's not really up to you. Your team could be intentionally trying to lose, and you could be trying to win for like personal goals.
Yeah.
But like,
nah, man. Dude, in a high school basketball game, would you ever, if you're in overtime and you're cutting for a pass, all I have to do is hit you, and I just have to throw you the ball, and you just like kind of give up on the pass. You just, it goes out of bounds, and all of a sudden your team wins. Like, you would never do that.
No.
Yeah.
And the
So
team
that tells you something about what's going on right
the
here in
team
that
was
man's
having
heart.
so much fun
Yes,
this year.
I already prefaced this. I agree with
It
everything you
changed
guys
last
said.
year. It changed last year.
I was just saying that there was definitely I can see how he got here. I can see how he got to this. I'm not saying shoot him in the sun. I might shoot Brandon McManus at his butt, but he's not going into the sun for me.
I have no respect for him as a person or a man.
Yeah. On the whole, it was a great Bears season. We probably shouldn't be one of the final 4 teams remaining. It's crazy that it was that close. I'm more optimistic about the defense.
Yeah.
Now that seems like once Kyler and Jalen Johnson got a little more healthy, we were able to play a little better. So here's to winning 11 games next year. That would be an amazing season. We'll see.
Miles, what's next?
Seahawks Rams. Seattle -2.5 coming off a blowout against the 49ers at home. They got a week of rest behind them 2 weeks back. Darnold's sitting here just begging to shit his pants and throw a pick against this Rams defense and Chris Shula that has torn him apart the past 3 times he went against him. I think he has like 7 picks in his last 3 starts against the Rams.
Wow.
Gets to see him a third time. Gets to see this Rams defense that was good against the Bears, not so good against the Panthers. Rams offense coming in here they were good against the Panthers, but the Panthers defense sucked. Struggling against the Bears defense with not that much talent. Fascinating matchup for here. Much more interesting to me than Broncos-Patriots. Connor, where's your head at? Where do you see this game going with Seahawks-Rams?
I was about to ask you a question. Both of you guys. What's the line at for total points? No. Don't look it up.
Oh.
In your head.
47.5.
I was going to say 47.5.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the 50s. I think that this is going to be an all-offense game.
With the number 1 defense in the league on one side.
Yes. Yeah.
If the Stafford Rams can hit their peak, I mean, it's not going to be as cold as it was in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was an element of it. If they can hit their peak, I mean, the last game they played, what was it, like 30? The scores were in the 30s or something?
Yeah.
So
The over-under is 47.5.
it's just the most standard middle of the road. I feel like that's the one you see the most often.
Yeah.
Like 50 is high, 42 is low. I've seen 47 the most. I don't know what else to say other than we win a lot, but it makes sense. Like, it could be big or it could be bad. Like,
I could easily see this being 17-20. I wouldn't be shocked if the Seahawks kind of clamp down on the Rams. But if you look back to that last matchup of them for decide the NFC West, I mean, before that Niners game, Stafford threw for 370 and 4 touchdowns.
Dang.
Ripped up this Mike McDonald defense, and vice versa on the other side. Darnold had 2 bad picks, then came back down the stretch and ripped up this Rams defense that looks susceptible, especially to downfield passing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure in this game. I lean Seahawks. The Seahawks are the better team. I think that's pretty safe to say, especially defensively. I feel like they have the play calling edge, defense versus offense. I trust Shula and his track record against Darnold. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks blew out the Rams. I would be surprised, however, if the Rams blew out the Seahawks, if they went to them in their house and just ripped up that defense.
I'd agree with that.
Sunday is like 40 degrees in Seattle, so I don't think weather should be a huge issue for the Rams.
Puka was so shaky in the snow. He had no footing, and I didn't trust him to get open.
Hawaii
at all.
boy can't hang.
He really could not.
That was sick.
Matt, where do you lean in this game? Prediction.
I'm feeling like the Mike McDonald defense is gonna like hit its truest form. The Rams gonna be held under 20 points, and the Seahawks win 24-17.
Connor?
I don't know. I kind of want to go Rams, but I'm not. I want to go Rams. My heart is telling me Rams 30-27.
That's literally... I was about to say Seahawks 30-27.
But my head is telling me Seahawks 35.
And what are your balls telling you?
But balls are telling me
Rashid Shaheed, 8 touchdowns.
None of this-
Rashid Shaheed,
Opening kickoff.
opening kickoff, every
No.
kickoff. Yeah, opening kickoff, and then he never gets to return ever
What
again.
are your balls telling you? No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it's a toss-up. Seahawks by a little bit.
Yep.
Broncos, Patriots. Patriots minus 4.5.
Didn't we already do this?
Denver. We never talked about predictions for the game.
Oh, I see.
Who we think's going to win.
No, this total points line, I'm probably putting at like 20.
It's probably 42.5.
Yeah, I was going to
Like
say 42
maybe
and a half.
10 points. I don't know. I think that Broncos defense
44.5 is my guess.
is sick. I'm just hoping for a good game, honestly.
I hope Stiddy gets Stiddy with it. I hope he.
Yeah.
I hope he grows some Stiddies and Stiddies.
42 and a half. Got them both on the dot.
Oh, I messed up.
Game wins dumb. Yeah. I don't know. Just feel like Drake May is going to pull this one out. Even though the line's 4.5, I would be pretty freaking shocked if the Broncos were to pull this off. It feels like the scenario where the Broncos win this game is May makes 2 or 3 mistakes. They capitalize, get short field.
Yeah.
They're able to run the ball, run some screens, and the Pats blitzes aren't super effective against Stidham. Stidham needs to make 3 big throws, and they pull out a close one. At the same time, I feel like the more realistic scenario is the Pats just blow them out. They come in there against the Broncos defense that, per DVOA at the second half of the season, the Patriots have actually been better. That includes strength of schedule who they played against. The Broncos defense has struggled against the run of recent. I don't trust them entirely.
The Pats have become like a real team.
They really have. Against I mean, not legit offenses on defense, but they've overperformed their expectation on defense week after week with scheme.
Yeah, I'm scared of them.
Barmore in the middle, along with Milton Williams, has been a really strong interior. I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos struggle to run the ball in this game, which is what they're going to try to do.
I was going to bring that up. I think a lot of it's dependent on how close this game is. It's going to depend on J.K. Dobbins' health and how many touches he's able to get. It was clear that at the beginning of the season, when he was healthy, their offense
Isn't he dead?
Definitely kind of seemed
He's
coming
questionable
back
for this game.
Oh,
I heard in that
doubt
like
it.
10 to 15 range is best case scenario for touches.
Oh, well then I guess he is playing.
But even at that, what J.K. Dobbins are you getting? You know,
probably not good.
oh, is
enough.
that R.J. Harvey looks like an old man when he's out there? I don't, and it's like
His vision's bad.
the age difference between R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins is like 1 year. Like,
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins has had like 5 surgeries. I feel like though.
Yes, but the age difference, it's
Yeah,
like it's
true.
crazy to think that like, oh, like he's a rookie and he has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
25 years old.
No, he's
Yeah.
damn near geriatric. R.J. Harvey.
Harvey's like pretty close to Najee Harris in terms
Yep.
of age.
Yep.
Harris came out when he was 21. I lean Patriots here. I'll say Patriots 35, Broncos 17.
That'd be a whomping, but very possible.
That's kind of where I'm at too. But I think a lot of it's dependent on the run game. If they can get something going in the run game and not just put it on Stidham's back and put it on his shoulders and make him do stuff that he's not capable of doing.
Yeah. I'll just go like 24-20 Patriots.
Want to talk Super Bowl or do you want to go to the draft? Save Super Bowl for next week because
Yeah.
we have 2
Yeah.
weeks because we had the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
So
we'll have
let's-
plenty
yep.
of time.
Let's save Super Bowl.
Well, probably a couple hours on the Pro Bowl. Maybe 4-hour special.
Yeah,
What we think's gonna happen.
skills challenge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Throw
quarterback.
it in the bucket.
Yeah.
A lot of angles.
Yeah, over under how many flags are there thrown? You know, really exciting stuff in the Pro Bowl.
Is Madison Beer mentioned in the Justin Herbert interview?
That huge.
Huge storylines. Draft.
Yeah.
Let's swing it to our preeminent draft expert, Mr. Connor. He's going to tell us about the Bowl of Seniors.
Yeah, so for about, what would you say, the past, like, since we started in week 1 of this podcast,
Yep.
You've been telling me that we need to wait for for draft content, and totally reasonable.
I've been saying either we
we've been-
wait or we put effort. We watch film.
in a roundabout way. I always get to Matt is right. This is it was pretty early for draft stuff, especially when there's so much other stuff we can talk to you guys
See, though,
about.
because the draft is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun.
And every single year, I end up being wrong about half of them and right about half of them, and I only talk about what I'm right about.
100%.
Nothing better than line up a bunch of people, young athletes, and just picking
Yeah.
which one's body you
Yeah.
want the most.
Oh,
But
to work,
Cassius Howe.
to work
Oh,
for
the
yeah.
body I want.
I was
But-
thinking more of a slavery reference, but that's
Oh,
but Cassius Howe
gosh.
too.
Is
Is the draft like slavery? Discuss.
It definitely is.
no, didn't that's what Colin Kaepernick did his documentary about.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually kind of wild. I was like, what is going on? If you have time, you should watch it.
But he-
I don't know.
There's no other labor market in
Yeah.
the world where you get drafted into a situation. You have no choice in who you play for or where you
Yeah.
get employed.
All I know
It is weird.
is that if someone was measuring me up and telling me to run and look and sizing me up, and they said, "All right, we'll give you $4 million."
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I'd say, I'll wear spandex for you and run fast.
But anywho, I had an excuse this week to start talking about it because the Senior Bowl is next week. Players start flying in on Monday. They start doing their interviews. It's like your first kind of opportunity to start seeing them as a prospect and not as a player.
Yeah. Not just a guy on film.
And I really like the Senior Bowl because it allows you to see these top prospects go against other top prospects. When you see a lot of these highlight films from their college days, they could be going up against a redshirt freshman, or they could be going up against someone who sucks.
Yeah,
And you're like, wow,
back
that
up.
was crazy.
It's Emmanuel McNeil Warren for Toledo against Bowling Green, just
Yep.
ripping their running back up. And you're like,
Exact-
what do I do
totally.
with this?
Exactly. But I'm not going to go in too much about the whole Senior Bowl because considering it hasn't even started yet. But just some names off the top to rip through. That
Yeah. Is there any big guys going?
there actually is. There is a
Oh, really?
bunch of like pretty big guys.
What's happening?
in the draft? As far as quarterback, not too much. I mean, the biggest name you
No.
got Diego Pavia. I don't see his stock really moving too much
Nope.
from this.
I think he's
5'9".
5'10". Yeah.
Yeah, someone that I think could have his stock rise pretty high is Nussmeier, Garrett Nussmeier
Oh,
from
he's going?
LSU. He's gone, and Luke Altmaier from Illinois. I think that if Illinois had a better season, he'd probably get more hype. But this is his opportunity to kind of show out there.
A lot of Purdy comps for Luke Altmaier.
Yep. And then in running backs, it's still it's not that great of a running back draft, but as far as people are going, the big one is Nick Singleton. He's kind of been crapped on
Oh, yeah.
all from Penn State.
Power back.
If he came out last year, he wouldn't have been a first round or second
Okay.
round, but he definitely would have been top of the third. He definitely
Yeah.
could have been the third running
Day
back.
two, very
second
Might have
running
went
back.
ahead Scadaboo.
Very draftable.
Definitely ahead of Scadaboo. He's just an athletic freak, and the Senior Bowl is something that I think that he thrives in that because
Sure.
you'll see him outside of Penn State. You'll see him solely going up against talent and him being able to showcase what he can
And
do.
look at his muscles.
Although, I mean, the Senior Bowl isn't that running back friendly, I guess, because a lot of
Yeah, you can't display
Yeah.
your vision. You're not getting hit.
you're not doing Oklahoma drills either. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of
They
it's for the
should.
game. Wide receivers, Casey Concepcion is the big
Oh.
one for me here.
Dang.
Texas A&M.
I mean,
Really?
his style. I mean, I think he's the clear number one wide receiver here. Someone can make an argument for like Jacoby Lane, but even at that, I think those people are few and far between. Jacoby Lane from USC. Other big names, Elijah Surratt is there. It's going to be fun to see him
Sick.
without Mendoza throwing the ball. And I think that's going to say a lot about Mendoza. How Surratt, if Surratt sucks at the Senior Bowl, it's going to say a lot more about Mendoza.
I don't know. Mendoza ripped it up without Surratt in that championship game, throwing it to that white boy with the big ears.
White boy.
Becker.
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 Yeah. Tight ends, no one. There's no one.
Okay.
I would not be too high
It's a
on
weak
tight
tight end
ends here.
class outside Sadiq.
Same thing goes for O-line. Jake Slaughter from Florida. Gunnar Becker.
Do not know those
not
guys.
Gunnar Becker. Where's his name?
Freeling.
Jennings Dunker.
Oh, Vanderbilt. Guard.
No.
Iowa.
Iowa.
Oh, shit.
Those are the two names that I know from here. I watched a little bit of their film. I'm interested to see how they do going up against Romello Height.
Damn.
Speed rusher. Undersized.
David Bailey.
Dog.
Those are the 2 Texas Tech guys.
Yep.
Yep. Ruben Bain.
Whoa.
Dog. Mesidor. Akeem Mesidor.
So they're all going.
They're all going.
What the?
I think that it's going to.
They're going to dominate whoever they see, probably.
And so with this huge edge rusher class that everyone's like, these guys are savages. You're going to, like, I think that there's going to be a clear number 1 after this.
Interesting.
And also, if these O linemen can prove that you can do something against these guys, it's going to be pretty crazy for them. It's only stock up.
Yeah.
If you get blown out by them, okay, well, that's like this.
Who's here to compete today?
Exactly.
No, that makes sense.
Linebackers, not too much. Cornerbacks, I want to shout 2 guys out here. I'll rip through them pretty quick. But Chris Johnson from San Diego State, I'll put a flag on him right now.
Flag put.
Great zone coverage guy.
Great zone coverage guy. I think he has it. I think the competition he had in college, it's hard to say that it's comparable to the NFL.
But if he's smart.
Little Quinyon Mitchell comp in terms of competition.
Yep, but I think he has it. I think he's going to be able to show it at the Senior Bowl. The other one is Keontae Scott. Dog. Piss missile.
Is he the
Pitbull. Miami.
Miami? Yeah.
The Miami,
Yeah, he
he's
made
a
some-
nickel corner,
He made some
dude.
sick
It's like
plays.
5'9", 170.
I think so. I put like a flag on Chris Johnson. That's like us, the U.S. and Greenland. We're putting a flag there.
Yep.
Not real,
Count it.
but it counts.
And we're going to put tariffs on the other
Keontae
prospects.
Scott
Elite
is,
comp.
is
Elite
my
comp.
rocket. Is my rocket to the moon.
Oh.
Stepping on the moon, planting my flag.
Damn.
That is. I'm like Keontae Scott is the dog.
Dang.
And it's crazy to think. I think that right now he's like a late second round into day 4.
Day
Like-
4.
No, day 3. Day 3.
Man,
Day
they're
4
inventing
undrafted.
new days for
No,
this prospect. That's how
but-
bad he is.
I think his stock can go. I think this guy has it. I think that any defense can use a guy like Keontae Scott. And then that is pretty much it. Those are the guys. If you are
Okay.
looking to
That's kind of sick.
look at Senior Bowl film, you'll have more film on those guys.
I'm so excited to get into the draft. I'm so horned up for the draft. It's my favorite time of the year. The thing that sucks about draft content is it's incredibly difficult to find college film. Like with the NFL, you have NFL Plus. You can watch L22. Anybody can do that.
And you really want the cut-ups, too.
Yeah, being able to watch a bunch of college film is pretty much exclusive to people who have access to it. Just like guys on Wall Street.
So stupid.
You kind of need to have a You need to work for PFF in order to have all that information,
yeah.
which just sucks for guys like us who are only just care about football and learning stuff. Like we're just trying to
I know.
learn, and it's really hard to find those angles.
The
We're gonna do the best
patriarchy.
we can in terms of covering that. I think in terms of creating a synopsis of different analysts, watching highlights and film, and just trying to think about the guys. I actually think we're gonna do a pretty good job. We're pretty fucking locked in for watching dudes that half of which will probably never play meaningful NFL football. But I'm just super excited to get in the draft. I actually think we're going to do a really good job without having access to all the film.
All I'm saying is I was dialed the hell in last year. And I know I said 50-50, but I'd say years prior, probably 50-50. Last year, I hit the nail on the head for a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
I'd say I wasn't batting 1,000.
Go.
Probably batting like 750.
Whoa.
Dang.
Hall of Famer.
Although like the takes I was making weren't that crazy. Outside of Alec by Iowa Manor, I think that
No,
that
you
was
smacked on that.
a schmack.
We'll see this year if that was just hindsight bias or if you actually were that accurate.
Hey,
I'm just so excited.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to see if I'm a fraud or not, because at this point, I think I'm a fraudulent. But maybe I start diving in.
Well,
See, I'm a savant of watching
But
film.
the thing is, I feel like I'm definitely more feel based.
Yeah.
That I watch players, and if
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I
My
don't
love
care.
language, touch.
It's like if I'm watching this guy get open, I'm watching him catch balls, I'm watching him make plays that no one else on earth can make. This guy can play football. But
Interesting.
I feel like you're more in the camp of well, here's what the data is telling me about this guy, and here's comparable people.
Yeah.
Matt is about evidence and statistics, and he wants to watch film. And the main thing is he doesn't want to actually be a fraud. He wants to be someone who's legit. So when he's giving takes, he doesn't want to just regurgitate like I do other people's information that they provide. He wants to be able to watch film and say, I have a legitimate opinion about
I'm a
how good this
hesitant
guy
bitch.
is.
If I make his opinion too strong, I'll be wrong. So
No, you're someone who cares about your craft and wants to actually put out a good product.
Tucker Craft, ACL, that's me.
Thank you for joining us today on the Football Frauds podcast. It's been a great time. I was in a bad mood before the boys got here. We loosened up a little bit. We started having fun. I have a blast every time we do this. And truth be told, viewer, I don't give a fuck if you watch this Well, actually, I really do want you to watch this podcast.
Don't fucking watch this podcast.
I want you to watch it really bad so we can get views and be popular so we can make maybe a few dollars.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
Goal
Yeah.
for 2025.
Make at least
10
$1.
2025?
Yeah.
Well, damn.
With that being
Time to
said, if you
roll.
like this content, or if you don't like this content, keep watching it.
If you don't like this
Don't
content,
keep watching
hit
it.
the dislike
I don't know.
button. Let
Hit
us
it.
know how much.
Oh, we don't.
You think we care?
I don't know.
We don't.
We're gonna turn the comments off.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
I love you.
Bye.
Fraud out.